Alrighty, let's get ready to start the show. All right. Welcome back to another episode of First Reaction, Fan Reaction. I am your host, Cailin Clothier, and with me is my co-host.
Yeah, Dara Whitman.
Who had just finished eating a snack.
Yeah.
We just got done a couple of riveting episodes of Legend of Korra. We are still on book 1 with episodes 9 and 10, Out of the Past and Turning the Tides. Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, let's get started with Out of the Past. Let's get started with a synopsis here. So when we left off last episode, we found out Tarlock, or Senator Dickbag, yeah, that guy, or Councilman Dickbag, whatever you prefer, was a bloodbender. Hello.
Yeah, and like an interesting one because usually you can only bloodbend when it's a full moon.
Right.
And this wasn't a full moon, and he can just bloodbend.
He was just bloodbending on like a crescent moon. And what's up with that? That is different from what we learned from the original series. Mm-hmm. And so they were duking it out, and then he bloodbends her, and then he's taking her off to some nondescript location out in the mountains.
Yeah, and it was like creepy, like when he like put her in the thing because he was still bloodbending.
Yeah, he was bloodbending her the whole time, and like her feet weren't even touching the ground.
And she was kind of like,
and like everything is so like disfigured looking, and you could hear the blood sounds.
I forgot how terrifying bloodbending was, and I love that it's so terrifying.
Bloodbending originally came from, I think it was kind of like the Halloween episode of Book 3 of Avatar. So it was supposed to be creepy.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
Yeah, it was a creepy episode. And so it's cool to see this come back and be more kind of plot relevant.
Yeah.
So
because it didn't come up to like really near the end of the show.
Yeah, and it didn't really come back. It was kind of a one episode thing.
No, it came back in that one episode that
Katari
said.
Yeah.
She was like so mad.
Yeah, but like as far as like a big plot point, it was we only saw it like really once, and then we really
somebody tells me like they thought about it like near the end of the show.
Yeah, and they're like, oh crap.
Like we just thought it was an awesome thing, but we don't really have any place to put it.
We don't have any time left for it.
We're making a sequel show.
Hey.
All right.
So at Tarlock's hideout, like she's locked in a box, a big metal box, and she can't bend metal, so she can't get out of the box.
So she's thinking.
So she got nothing really better to do than meditate.
Yeah.
Nothing. She's got to ask her past lives. In the meantime, so Tenzin is at his home, and they're all sleeping, and it's cute. And then he gets a call from the council, and so they got to run into the council. Mm-hmm. And so they see Tarlock is there, and he looks like he's getting healed up. And you see like some kind of evidence there that suggests that maybe what actually went down didn't actually go down, because you see like an Equalist glove, you see like their weird spinny weapon things. I don't know.
Yeah, I do kind of like the fact like they didn't animate like a whole thing of like the Equals coming to attack. Like they know that we know what actually happened.
Yeah, they didn't have to re-explain a false thing to us.
So instead of they just animated like what Senator Dickbag did.
Yeah, how he set up the scene.
Yeah.
So he explains that he's like, no, like the Equalists came, like she was talking to me, and because she was angry because I arrested her friends, and that's when the Equalists attack.
Which good, good job.
And so you can see he also like purposely electrocutes himself, so it looks like he was attacked too. Yeah. So he thought this one through. He's not an idiot. He's just a dickbag.
Yes.
And so in the meantime, we see Lin Beifong for the first time. We didn't see in the last episode. We haven't seen her since that she resigned from the
I kind of forgot that she was like slightly injured.
Yeah, she was injured from that time in episode 7 where, you know, she got a little beat up because that was a rough fight against the mechs. Mm-hmm. And so she hears on the radio that there's some stuff going down, and then she's like, oh man, we got to get back into business because the Avatar's missing. Nobody knows where she is.
Yeah.
And she she metal bends her gear on. Not totally unlike Iron Man. I think Lin Beifong is a little like Iron Man.
Well, I mean, Iron Man's kind of a rich asshole.
Yeah. And Beifong's only a hard ass, so.
And I don't think they're rich.
Not that
she
got some money. Yeah, I can't imagine she wouldn't have money. Anyway, and she's going out to police headquarters, and she goes and she's working outside the law now. Like she's not police chief anymore.
Well,
she's working outside the law, and so she just breaks into jail, and she breaks out all of Korra's friends, the rest of Team Avatar, who is currently sitting in jail.
Yes. I kind of liked how they gave a Sami-Rum jail cell, but then they didn't give Mako and Bolin.
They just put the brothers together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they ran out of jail cells. Who knows? They
seem like to be arresting a lot of people lately, especially with those non-benders.
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Hey, by the way, your friend's been kidnapped," and they're like, "Oh crap!" And then Mako's like, "What?"
Yeah,
they kidnapped Korra.
Like, I mean, we're probably gonna get into this like more. It happens in both episodes, but like, Mako's like just being such a dick.
He's like, no, because he's like, I feel like everything's about Mako. Like, Mako thinks everything's about Mako.
Mako's so
and even when it's not about him, like, it's kind of about him. Because he's like, Korra, and he's like,
and like, I felt like him being like super interested. Like, for a while, I was thinking like him like becoming like super interested with Korra kind of came out of nowhere. But then I also was kind of thinking like, well, I mean, she might be like, she's missing and like probably somebody kidnapped her and she could be like being tortured and stuff. So like probably like that, like he still always had feelings for Korra, even though like it kind of felt like everybody was like moving away from that and like she was with Asami and everything was okay. Yeah. Even though I would say now Asami's like way too good for Mako.
Yes, she is.
Way too good. But anyway, so back to my point. Just like but like I think it's kind of things like it's like been deep down in him and he wasn't really like admitting it. And it was kind of like I want to be with Asami right now. But the fact that like, oh wait, here's this other girl that I do kind of like, and now she might be like she's missing, she might be being tortured. Yeah, that kind of risen back up, and he was like more intense, even more intense than Bolin. And I'm like, but you're friends. Like this is your friend. Yeah, like I get Asami not being like super intense because like they just kind of became friends, but like she still likes Korra. Yeah. Like they were not as intense as Mako. Mako was just like all the testosterone.
He was very much. He was like very men. But then Lynn's like, yo, we gotta find Korra, and they're like, yeah, let's get down. And they're like, we might have to search underground in a secret tunnel through the mountains. Anyway, so then we go back to Korra. Yeah, and she's deciding to meditate because she's trying to be like get some help from the past lives. And so then we get into our first flashback scene, which I'm very excited about.
I like this.
So we're flashing back to maybe, oh gosh, how many years ago is this? Like,
well, Aang said he was 40.
Yeah, so it was like 30 some years ago. No, like 30.
Well, because like you said, he died in like you think he died in like his 60s?
I think he died in his 60s. Yeah.
So that'd be like 20, and then
no, it was
like about I'd say 30, 40 years.
Yeah. We can't do math here.
Well, no, because I'm thinking
no, it's like 40 years.
I'm about to say if he died in his 60s, then it would be another 20 years until he died, and then Korra's 17.
Yeah.
So
on this episode of First Reaction, we learn how to do math.
So technically, if you want to go ahead and do real thing, it's like 37 years.
Yeah. Damn. Good job. Anyway,
I know stuff.
So anyway, we're flashing back, and we get to see Aang, who is like 40 years old
and has a beard.
He's got a nice chin strap beard. Nice.
I never thought about that. I mean, it's fine. And then we also get to see
Toph, who is the chief of police because she is the founder of the Metal Bending Police.
Of course she is.
What a lady.
And she's still Toph.
She's still Toph. Like, she's still like, hey, Twinkle Toes. And he's like, I'm 40 years old. Can we not?
I feel like it was like a
she's
thing.
Like, afraid not.
I feel like it's a thing where like she's still like, she actually did grow up and like become an adult, but this is like her good friend. So she's still just gonna. Yeah. She's still Toph to him.
Yeah. So together, they're with the police, and you're like, oh man, where are they going? So they go into this restaurant, and they see this guy there, right? This guy
who's clearly evil.
He's very like he just look at him, and you're like, all right, this is probably a bad guy. His name is Yakone.
Yep.
And they arrest him.
Yep.
They arrest him. He seems kind of like one of those gangster guys.
Yep.
You're like, yeah, we don't quite trust him.
Yep.
And so that's kind of the end of that first flashback. And then we go back into our good friends Lin, Mako Tenzin, Bolin, and Asami as they're looking for the secret tunnel. And then we get to see Lin use her seismic sense again, which I love. Yeah. Every time that happens, I just think about Toph. I'm like, I miss it so much.
Look, Toph led a good life, I feel.
Toph.
There might have been some problems.
What a lady.
But she led a good life. I don't know. The weird thing is like I don't see Toph in like a romantic relationship, but like I don't know like you know, I know she had a kid, but still.
She had a kid. We're not really sure.
They might have artificial insemination in the Republic City.
In the Avatar universe.
Yeah, I know it's supposed to be like the 20s and stuff, but you never know.
You never know. It's all kind of anachronistic.
Anyway.
But, and so as they're walking, we get a little kind of teen drama here, because Mako is being all like, we gotta find Korra, guys. And Asami is like, yo, chill, dude. We are all like missing her. And then she goes like, Bolin, yo, what's the deal here? And Bolin's like, oh, we're just really, Korra's missing and all that. She's like, no, what's the deal here? And like, are Mako and Korra like, do they like each other?
And it's like I do like a thing. It's like a slight mention that like it's like I know Korra's missing, but like I'm kind of also worrying about this.
Yeah,
which I guess if you're a teenager, that kind of is like where your brain.
It's kind of that's kind of like the big thing on your mind right there. And then Bolin reveals that yeah, they kind of kissed that one time, but he's over it, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of remembering this, but like Korra kissed Mako. Mm-hmm. Like, let's discuss that. I mean,
yeah, but Bolin doesn't know that because Bolin only saw them kissing.
I think like Mako kind of went into it a bit.
Yeah, he kissed back.
I know that Mako. I mean, clearly, like Mako's also got like
very clearly,
and guess
it very obvious.
And guess what? I still don't care.
And nobody cares about Mako.
It's kind of like that thing where it's kind of like, look, I know you guys have like your teen angsty and romance issue stuff, but somebody's trying to kill us all.
By the way, there are serious matters.
And like, you don't know what's happening to Korra right now. She might be getting tortured. She's not getting tortured, but still.
So that little teen trauma goes down, but then they eventually find this underground facility, and they kind of go and they're looking for things. There's a prison down there, so they're looking for a prison. And then they find some equalists, and like Mako's like angrily interrogating them. He's like,
he's a bit too into.
He's like, he's a little too much. We're just sitting there like, Mako, calm down, buddy. Wait, you're not. It's fine. Just calm down. He's getting super angry about it. He's like, where's Korra?
His balls are very blue.
Yeah, and which
is weird because he's got Asami, who will clearly make that better, probably.
Yeah, who is a very lovely lady. I mean, she's too good for him, but whatever.
Yeah.
So then the guy's like, yo, we never attacked City Hall like that. We didn't do that. Like, Tarlock is clearly lying here. Mm-hmm. Tarlock is clearly Councilman Dickbag. Like, we have all established this.
Yes.
So I believe they find the metal bender guys too. They find the metal bender officers. And their bending has been taken away already.
Sad.
Which is very sad because they're all like, Chief, it's you.
I don't know if it's gonna happen like later on in the show, but like, are they gonna deal with like these people like who've like been bending their entire lives and now they can't bend anymore? Like, how do you deal with that? Especially with what happens like later on in this, not this episode, but like in the next episode,
right?
Like, I wonder how people cope with that because like, it's like you have like this thing that's been a part of you and then it gets taken away, like that you don't. That's not.
I think that's a really great kind of character element to explore.
It's like that's like not something you deal with.
The impact of bending in the Avatar world, I think, is a super interesting thing because it's not just like a cool power thing. It's like people's daily lives.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really cool element to explore, and we will find out how much that gets explored in the future. We'll see. Who knows? So then they have to escape the thing because like the alarms are going off and they're like intruders. And then there's a nice little scene where they're like getting away and it's a little actiony. And then we go back. We keep jumping back in this episode. We're going from trying to find Korra to some flashback scenes. We're back to the flashback scenes. So we are in the council area. But this is,
it's a trial.
Yeah, it's a trial. It's Yakone's trial.
Yep.
And the thing is about Yakone that people are accusing him of bloodbending on any other time besides the full moon.
Which I have a question.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe it's a different thing. So, like, can he not bloodbend during the full moon?
I think, no, I'm pretty sure he can. It's just like but in order to dissuade the blame from himself, he just did it in any other time. So, like, you can make the case that it's impossible. So, obviously, he didn't do it. So,
also, do we ever learn how? Because I don't get, like, how.
We will get into that in a future episode.
Cool.
That's all I'm going to tell you.
All right.
So we're going to explain a little bit that not in today's episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction, but we will get to it. So stay tuned. So in this trial, like the guy's like, there's no way he can bloodbend. Like it's impossible to do it not on the full moon. So obviously my client here, he's not guilty. So you just let him go now. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then at this point, we have one of the councilmen stand up, and it is our good friend Sokka. Sokka with he doesn't really have a hair ponytail thing anymore. He has like a weird
I thought it looked the same.
Yeah, it was like slightly different.
I kind of knew the road. I'm like, Sokka, I'm glad he became a council person.
Yeah, he's like leading Republic City now. That's what he's good at. He's a good leader.
Yeah.
Good for Sokka. And so he's like, listen, and I've seen some shit in my time, all right? So like I know that this is totally plausible, and because of that, this guy's totally guilty.
Which, like, I need to say this because, like, obviously, like, it kind of, like, it did kind of sound like a Sokka voice, like, grown-up Sokka voice.
Yeah.
But I knew it was Chris Hardwick. I knew, like,
I didn't even. I forgot it was Chris Hardwick, and then you said something, and then I couldn't unhear it the entire rest of the time that we were
I
watching.
always heard that. I wonder if it's because I know, like, obviously Chris Hardwick's like married now.
Yeah.
But like he dated the woman who played Korra,
Janet Varney.
Yeah, like they dated for like I think like 7 years.
Oh wow.
I think they were like, I mean, like I saw her because I think like because they broke up like years ago.
Yeah.
And I think they're still like really good friends and like.
Oh, good. Good for them.
I think because she was just on At Midnight.
Yeah.
So they're friends now, and he's now married to a Hearst. So we're all good.
To a what?
Hearst.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So.
Nice.
But like, I think I knew that Chris Hardwick. I think I read it somewhere that Chris Hardwick was in the show for like a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I'm kind of like, I got slightly distracted, but then like he got serious, and I'm like, it works.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about a little bit at the end of the episode. But anyway, and so they're like, "Yo, you are guilty. You are so guilty, man."
Yeah, there's a ton of I know, like
you were so guilty.
we know the blood bending thing might be impossible, but like there's a ton of other evidence.
He's like, I once saw a dude fire bend with his mind, man. Like, you,
did he? I don't.
He's talking about Combustion Man, about the guy who was like,
right,
with his forehead. What a cool character. Anyway, so, and then Yukon is like, all right, let's get serious here. And then he starts bloodbending
with
literally
his eyes.
Everyone in the room, and his hands are tied. He's not even moving his hands.
he moves his eyes, and I'm just
He's like psychically bloodbending.
Oh, that was so creepy.
Oh. Anyway, and then like everybody's like moving all weird ways, and there's all these weird sounds, and it looks creepy, and like we're like cringing the entire time.
And then like he like bends like Toph to like let him go.
To like let him go. Yeah, and like he's bending Aang, and Aang's like, yeah, so Yukon bloodbends everyone in the room. That's kind of where we stop. We get to the chase thing later. So then we're back at City Hall, and Tenzin, Lin, Mako, Bolin, and Asami all arrive, and they're like, yo, and like Saikan is there too, and the council, and they're like, yo, Tarlok, what's the deal, man? Apparently, we know you're lying. We know you're lying because you're the one who took Korra, because Tenzin figured it out.
Which, like, why did they...
Tenzin figured it out.
But why did they bring Senator Dick back into this? Like, again, like, if you want to be tactical, you say to everybody, okay, we know this guy's lying. Maybe we don't let him, like, on that we know, and just, like...
Yeah, they're very confrontational. When
they're really confrontational. They just, like, confront... They're just like, no, like, we know
like,
this.
Hey, we know.
And I'm like, hey, guys, why don't we not tell him that we know? And then just, like, see what he says, and then just, like, follow him.
Yeah. And then, like, the little mousy guy comes in, who's, like, one of the assistants or whatever, and he's like... Tarlok's a bloodbender. And that's what he says.
And I'm like, zing.
And they're like, oh no, cat's out of the bag. And then...
Well, not the big cat. The big cat's almost out of the bag.
Oh, yeah.
Because we already knew that.
Yeah. And so they're like, oh no. And then he bloodbends them all, and then he escapes.
Yeah.
So that's happened.
And then I like the part where like they wake up and Bolin's just like, I just had this weird dream this guy bloodbended us.
And they're like, yeah, that happened. And he's like, oh.
Okay.
So then they're like, oh man, we gotta go find Korra.
Yeah.
But they don't know where Tarlok went. They don't know where Korra is. So
no, that's why they shouldn't have confronted him.
Yeah, they could. They could have very smart about this. Like Tenzin was good because he figured it out. But like,
they figure it out, but then they don't know what to do after figuring it out.
No. So, but then we go back to the. I can never keep track of like when it switches back.
It doesn't matter.
That's why I have a synopsis here. So then we switch back, and then there's that chase scene because Aang is like chasing Yukon, and then Yukon is like, "I'm gonna put you to sleep for good" or something because we can't say die on a kid's show.
Can he put them to sleep for good?
Yes, I don't know. I'm sure if you can like, bend blood, you can cause some weird stuff.
Well, like it was weird because like it looked like he was bending him enough, and like it looked like he was gonna like snap his neck somehow.
Yeah,
I do kind of figure technically you could probably just like bring enough blood up to the brain, and then
or you can cause a blood clot.
That too.
You can cause a pulmonary embolism.
So you can do that.
That's
so like I thought for a second Aang was gonna like die, and that was gonna be the end of it. But then I'm like, then you mentioned like he died in the 60s and he's 40.
Yeah.
So no.
So that didn't quite happen. He goes into the Avatar state.
He does go in the Avatar state.
And he like breaks free of the blood bending, and then he like does like the rock thing, and then he's like, I'm gonna take away your bending for good. And so then he energy bends, and Yukon is no longer a bender.
So does that mean like the way that what's his name?
Amon.
Yeah. I keep forgetting it. Like he got into like getting rid of people's like bending powers. So like, is he an energy? Is that energy bend? Is it energy bending?
That's called energy bending. Yeah.
No. But I'm saying can Armand?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
It's.
No, you know.
I know. I'm not going to tell you.
I know that. Okay, continue.
Okay. I mean, I'd love to hear your theory, but I will neither confirm nor deny.
Well, I think it's either he's an energy bender or like he like learned like about energy bending and kind of just like does like that thing that one girl who can like do like the pokey thing.
Yeah, like the chi blocking.
Yeah, the chi blocking. Yeah. I feel like it's either energy bending or like a mix of like he learned how to like do energy bending through chi blocking.
Okay,
it's one or the other.
Yeah, I like that theory.
Okay.
That's because he did some thought there. Anyway, so, and then Tarlak comes back and he's like, yo, you ruined my life. And now we're going to leave forever and you're going to be my hostage. And she's like, okay, son. Speaking of son, you're Yakone's son.
Zing.
Zing. And he's like, I was, but now I'm not, except you are. He's just being a dick about it. And he's like, my father tried to rule the city by the underbelly, but I'm trying to make it good. Not that way. I don't know, man. Whatever. And so we think it's all well and good. And then Amon shows up because that's what he does. Mm-hmm. That's what he does. Further dispelling your theory.
I know.
That Amon and Tarlak are the same person.
Yeah. No, I forgot about that theory. My other theory was that Senator Dickbag was like an equalist. Yeah. Which kind of also dispelled that theory. Yeah. Turns out he's just a dickbag. He's just your run-of-the-mill dickbag. Which I'm kind of upset about because then I thought I read this article and I might have read it wrong. Mm-hmm. Which was I thought that Senator Tarlak. Yeah. Tarlak and Amon, I thought that they were brothers. I thought I read that somewhere, but I guess I was wrong. God dang it. I hate this.
I don't know what kind of article.
You know what's weird about this? Because I'm usually on the other side. And you're on this side. It's not that much fun.
Now you know.
Do you understand? Suffer. Do you understand? No, but it's nice having the power, isn't it?
It's I love having this power. Anyway, so Amon literally says it's time to be equalized. I think it sounds so lame, but it's coming out of Steve Bloom's voice. So like you can't.
I don't know what Steve Bloom is.
He's the voice actor for Amon, and he voices a lot of like manly badass characters. All right. And so there's a fight that goes down and Tarlak is like, let me just bloodbend, and it's like blood bending and everyone else is like affected by it except Amon. Amon for some reason bloodbending doesn't take to him. He's like, no, I can just walk right through it. And you're like, what the heck? Who the heck are you?
Oh man, the brother thing does sound more likely now because I'm thinking so like if the Tarlak's father, if they were siblings, and like Tarlak's dad just could have taught them how not to be affected by blood bending. God dang it.
It's a possibility. We will find out in a later episode.
Well, we're almost done this.
I
feel like this like all these plot points that are coming up and like for this like kind of like non-bendy thing is gonna mostly come to conclude.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Then he pretty much, Amon just like whoops Tarlak's butt, takes away his bending, like right there.
He can't bend anymore, which I'm like, good. I'm happy about that.
He captures him, and Tarlak is out of picture for the moment. Mm-hmm. And then Amon is like, yo, we gotta electrocute the box so she can't escape.
And don't
underestimate her. For the love of God, just do not underestimate her. She's the Avatar.
And what do?
They underestimate her.
Apparently nobody like looks at like the roof of the box, which is like a vent.
It's grated, yeah.
It's grated. So basically she just like gets a ribbon and like is up on the thing.
Yeah. She gets her arm thing and she holds it so she can't be affected by the electrocution because he holds that thing there for a while, like the light bulb like burst and everything. I'm like, you were literally killer. But anyway, so she escapes and she runs away. Yeah. And eventually Naga finds her because Naga this whole time has been looking for her. Naga is such a good character.
Aww.
I love Naga. And then Naga brings her back to the city. And she's crying out, and then so they eventually find Naga, and then Mako was like, everybody out of the way!
Mako.
And they're like, Mako, just calm down.
Like, literally the only way I would have gotten it, or like would have been even like more okay with it, is if they were actually a couple. Yeah. Then it would have been like, all right, he's worried about his girlfriend. Right. Okay. But like, you obviously like if it's your friend, you're upset. Yeah. But like, you're going overboard, and your girlfriend is right there. Yep. And like, I don't think it's like that. I don't know if like I don't know. Are we supposed to like be okay with this?
I'm not sure what you're supposed to be. I remember when I watched it, I was like, Mako.
Like I feel like the writers, like it's kind of like this thing where they kind of were getting less and less into it, and like I felt like they realized it felt like they settled all the love triangles. Yeah. And then they're kind of like, no, we want to bring it back up for the end. Yeah. And they kind of didn't realize that. Mm-hmm. Like, it couldn't even been a thing where, like, they set up, like, the whole thing where everything's cool. They played up the flirtiness a bit more. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If you think? Mm-hmm. They could just play up the flirtiness, like, a little bit more, and then maybe, like, the episode before, like, all the crap went down. Yeah. They could have, like, set up, like, Mago could have been like, huh. oh man, and they kind of realized that, and then
I caught the feelings.
Well, like, I mean, they could have just, I mean, I know they only had 12, I feel like if they had 22 episodes, it probably would have been a bit more.
They would have had time to play with it more. It would have felt more organic.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, no, I agree.
Or even if, like, the episodes, if they had 12 episodes, but each episode was, like, 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, they really could have used more room to kind of play around with this or not do it at all.
Yeah. Probably not do it at all.
Yeah, probably just not do it at all. So that's great, kind of where we end up off on that episode.
Yeah.
Cora's okay. She's back in the arms of her friends.
She's a bit beaten up.
She's a bit beaten up. She's going to need some time for some rest and relaxation. Mm-hmm. And so that concludes this episode. And Charlock is who knows where, Amon is doing who knows what. And we are left wondering. So what were your thoughts on this episode?
I dug it. I dug it quite a bit. I think the weird thing was that, like, basically everything kind of involving, like, let's find Korra and, like, the love with the romance. I didn't care about the romance at all. I still don't care about the romance. I don't think I ever will. Maybe there's a point where I will.
Maybe.
Who knows? And then just, like, but kind of, like, the search for stuff, like, that all stuff, like, I didn't mind it, but it was kind of just, like, the beat by beat kind of thing. Yeah. And I was kind of getting mad, like, why do you keep confronting people? Let's not confront them and just make them, and, like, you could have followed stuff.
Right.
But it's a weird thing, like, the thing that I was most interested in was, like, everything with Korra and, like, her meditation. Yeah. And just, like, finding all the stuff out. I'm like, this is cool. I'm interested.
Right.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a question I wanted to ask. How do you feel about how they represented the old Team Avatar in this episode in the flashbacks or flash forwards or whatever? Like, how did the voicing go? How do you like who they chose for the voice actors? Who do you think they like how they redesigned the characters to be older? Like, how'd you feel about that kind of stuff?
That's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a big opinion. Like, the only thing that, like, freaked me out, not really freaked me out, but, like, was, like, the Chris Hardwick thing. And that's because, like, I knew who it was.
Yeah.
But then I kind of was, like, listening, and I'm kind of like, no, that kind of does sound like a grown-up Sokka voice. Yeah. And then we didn't really see Katara in that, but, like, I don't think she need to be there. I'm glad that, like, everybody kind of has, like, a, what's the word? Like a political, not political position, but, like a
role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody kind of was, like, in their place. Everybody looked pretty okay. I really like Aang.
Yeah?
He felt just, like, so adult.
Yeah.
Like, I like, in the show, like, he, like, was a kid.
Right.
I think he kind of, like, had to mature a bit.
Yeah.
But he still kind of felt like a kid. I kind of like seeing, like, a super adult just, like, we're going to do this and, like, that kind of thing. I don't know. I liked an adult. I didn't really like his beard.
He was like Avatar Aang.
He felt like an adult. Like, it just felt like a good progression.
Right.
And Toph kind of felt like...
Toph was very Toph.
Toph didn't really do much. Like, she didn't do much, but, like, she felt like somebody, like, who is, like, a grown up and, like, probably, like, if she's in, like, a room with, like, a bunch of people, like, she can stand her ground.
Right.
But, like, when she's with Aang, who's, like, you know, been her best friend for, at this point, like...
a long time.
Like, 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, she's gonna still shoot the shit with him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I really like that, too. I think they did a good job with... you know, aging up Team Avatar. So I always get excited when I see those flashbacks, because I mean, it makes me think of the old series, and I miss the old series.
Good
so it's one
times.
of my favorites. So yeah, awesome. And so I think we kind of touched on a lot of other things as we were going along, as far as where we think this is going, who's who, who's what, who's when, where, and things are about to go down. Are you ready for things to go down?
I am ready for things to go down.
All right. If you're ready for things to go down, then we will be back in just a second with the next episode, Turning the Tides.
Ooh.
So we are back with episode 10 of Book 1 Air of Legend of Korra. This is Turning the Tides.
Ooh.
And a lot of things are turned.
Oh, a lot of things are turned.
Things go down. Things are currently going down, and they're just going to keep going down until we reach the end of this season.
Yeah.
So let's go.
It's like we're getting into the climax.
All right. So at the end of the last episode, of course, you know, Korra was kind of beaten up. So she's kind of resting. She's resting up, and like Mako's by her side, and he's like,
I'm like, Mako.
He's like hold her hand.
It kind of reminded me of the second Hunger Games movie, where after, did you ever see that? You saw that, right?
Yeah.
So like after Gail gets like
whipped, and then and
she's like right there, and it's like kind of this thing of like, this is like, I mean, obviously like there was like that whole thing,
shebang,
which I didn't hate as much as they hated it. Like at least that felt good. Like I felt it, and it was just kind of like a thing where it's like like, here's my friend. Like, I get the whole thing of, like, oh, here's my friend who I really care about, maybe even have a thing for. Yeah. And, like, they're, like, obviously, like they've been hurt.
Right.
So, like, you feel bad, but then I'm just like, I want to feel sympathy for Mako because, like, I want to, like, I kind of understand where he's coming from.
Right.
But he's, like, it's just, like, so over, like, he's not, like, I think it's the fact, I think I think I had an epiphany on this.
Ah, okay.
He doesn't realize he's doing anything wrong.
Yes.
And he doesn't realize that he's hurting anybody. Like, the fact that he's giving, like, I mean, obviously, Korra's not really focusing on him. She's focusing on other stuff. But, like, doing this and, like, sending mixed emotions to Korra about, like, your feelings is not good. Doing that is hurting Asami.
Right.
So, like, and it just feels like he's, like, really, I hope there's, like, a character arc, like, in the rest of the show, like, where he becomes less self-centered.
Right.
Which would be nice. I don't know if that happens.
It'd be very nice.
But he's so self-centered. And he's just, like, he doesn't think that, like, anything, he's just, like, I'm helping my friend who's, like, sick and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand that, like, the way you're doing it can, like, send a lot of mixed emotions.
Yes, exactly.
So, okay.
All right. So, yeah, especially because Asami's like, all right, buddy. All right. So Korra eventually, like, she wakes up, she's eating, and it's all good, and all these things are happening.
And then you need to find out what happens, basically.
Yeah, and then she gives them the deets. She kind of fills them in on what's been going on.
Did she tell them that, like, she found this out through, like, a vision?
I don't...
Because, like, that might be a point saying, like, hey, like, maybe we can... It's like, hey, Tenzin, like, I learned this, like, through a vision. Maybe we should, like, work on this.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we should do some more meditation. Maybe we should tap into the past lives thing a little more. Anyway, so, and then Asami and Mako have kind of a confrontation in the
Pem is there, and
Pem is there, and Mako walks in. He's like, "Hey, I need to boil some." He's like, "I need some tea or whatever." And she's like, "Well, you're a firebender. Boil it yourself."
Which is true. He could probably do it himself.
Yeah,
just like, like, shh, we're good.
Yeah.
And then Pema was like, "I'm gonna go." We should also point out probably with Pema that she's got some pains. And she's still pregnant.
Something. Yeah, she's very pregnant. And
I should point. Okay, we'll continue.
All right. So they have, like, a confrontation, and then she's like, "Hey," like, they're talking. She asks him, like, "Do you have, like, feelings? Like, I know you kissed, blah blah blah," and he's, like, denying it. And he's like,
did he deny the kiss? Because, like, I think he didn't.
He didn't deny the kiss. He denied that he had feelings for her. And she's like, and he's like, well, "Things are kind of crazy right now. There's a lot of stuff going down. In case you haven't noticed, can we talk about this later?" And she's like, "There might not be a relationship later to worry about." Oh, mic drop. Walk out. Change scene.
Yeah, which, like, I mean, I agree with Michael. Like, yeah, there's a ton of stuff we need to worry about, but, like, you're still, like...
But you can't ignore it forever, buddy.
And
just Mako, man. Just Mako.
I don't know. It's just kind of, like, I get the fact, like, yeah, like, I mean, I that is kind of, like, I guess, like, my one thing with Asami, but it's kind of, like, a sympathetic thing where it's kind of, like, she really is kind of worried about this. And, like, yes, there is other stuff to worry about.
Right.
But it's, and I don't know. Like, what do you think with Asami?
I think she definitely has, like, room to be worried. She's like, there's, like, stuff going on. She can't be worried about this boy if the boy's not worried about her.
No, but no, I'm thinking, like, should she, like, do you think, like, I wonder if there should be, like a thing where, like, she's, like, conflicted that, like, she should be worrying about this other stuff that's, like, destroying everything.
I think that'd be a really interesting conflict to see. Yeah. I think that doesn't really get explored.
Because, like, the way, because if they keep, like, playing this up and, like, it kind of makes it, like, and she's only worrying about this, like, romance thing and, like, not anything else. I mean, it kind of makes her look like a teenager who, like, would focus on this.
Right.
But then it kind of, like, that's, like, the only bitchy thing. But, like, it feels really forced.
Yeah. But, like, it doesn't really, in comparison to the rest of the episode, though, it's not like she's always constantly worried about it.
She doesn't really do much the rest of the episode.
It comes up occasionally. And it's more, like, in, when, like, it's really, like, subtle, like, glances. Like, she's not constantly, like, moving
That's true.
It.
Yeah, and she's, like, focusing on other stuff. And,
still,
like,
worried about
when she's forced to confront it.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I'll give you that.
I give it a pass.
Yeah.
And so Tenzin asks Lin, he's like, "Hey, Beifong, my bro, can you help guard my kids?"
My ex-girlfriend, bro.
Yeah, so my ex-girlfriend, you want to, like, help, protect my wife? Is that weird? And she's like, "Yeah, fine, whatever." And Pema's like, "Cool, you can watch the kids." Hands them her child. And Lin should probably never be around children ever.
I always wonder, like, the thing between, like, Lin and Pema, like, their relationship.
Yeah.
Because wasn't it, like, what was, like, Tenzin left Lin for Pema?
Yeah.
Why was that?
Pretty much.
Just because I think it was because like the relationship kind of.
Yeah, like the relationship was kind of going another way, and I think like Tenzin wanted other things than Lin wanted, and so they just kind of.
I feel like Lin never really wanted kids.
Yeah, that's always
and
like
Tenzin
what I got.
Wanted kids.
Yeah, because he's like, I need to repopulate my race.
Well, no, I always feel like Tenzin wanted kids.
Yeah,
he kind of felt like the kind of guy who would like want kids.
He would really want kids, but also he needs to repopulate his race.
That's true. So, like, and that's, like, for people in relationships, like, the kid thing is kind of a deal breaker.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a huge deal breaker,
but,
I mean, I'm glad that, like, this doesn't actually turn into, like, a love triangle.
No, it doesn't. This is, like, already resolved.
This is, like,
kind of seeing kind of the...
This is, like, the whole, like, Korra, Mako, Asami debacle, but, like, as adults.
Yeah, like...
And you know how to deal with it.
After the thing ended and then years later.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But Pem is still pretty funny. He's like, okay, cool, I'll watch my kids, thanks.
Yeah.
And then Tenzin has to go do some stuff with the council. And then we see the Equalist. They're rounding up members of the council. They are kidnapping them in many ways. And so...
Mainly the shocky ways.
Yeah, the shocky ways. Mm-hmm. Yes, dear. But Tenzin, Equalists are no match for him.
Well, he almost
gets it.
Yeah. I feel like probably because there's so few Redbenders, like they don't fully know how to deal with them.
Yeah.
They know how to deal with everything else because they exist.
Yeah, and I feel like they probably have like extensive training on like different types of benders because they can the styles are very well known. For like airbending style and like how they fight, there's only like 2 guys on the world who really understand what it is.
Well, technically I think it's more like 4.
Yeah.
And maybe 5.
Yeah, but
actually maybe 6
like
coming
masters,
up soon.
Yeah. There's a very limited amount of masters.
Yeah.
So they can't really like fight airbender guys. They just get a bunch of tanks and they hope for the best.
Yeah.
And they almost get them, but Team Avatar comes and with like their cars and they
kind of destroy that car, which kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of funny also because there was like a bit where like she crashed the car.
Yeah, she was trying to park the car and Korra can't drive.
Which is like, okay, like guys, like really? Yeah. And I think it was like Asami brought us up saying like, what did you do? And she's kind of like, look, I can't drive.
You guys left me alone with the car. I can't drive.
There's also a bunch of parking tickets.
There's parking, yeah, and then Mako just...
Which like, that doesn't get rid of the parking ticket. I mean, it gets rid of them, but it doesn't like, you still gotta pay.
Gotta pay him, man. But he don't care. He don't give a heck about the law.
He's got all of he's got all those hormones and like the testosterone is just like it's all built up.
He's too worried about girls to worry about parking tickets.
Man. I'm worried about other shit. I wonder what's gonna happen once like everything gets lowered down. What's gonna happen?
So Team Avatar saves Tenzin, and then they gotta go do whatever their thing. So Tenzin recruits the help of the United Forces.
Ooh,
which sounds very exciting. So that's kind of like the army, but for like the UN army, I guess. Does the UN have an army? I don't think so. Anyway, I don't. However that works. And so they're kind of attacked by Equalists in there, and they have to escape. So Tenzin gets attacked by the Equalist.
Yeah.
And then he sends a message to the guys, and then he gets attacked again.
No.
And then Team Avatar comes. Yeah?
No, but then he maybe.
How does the episode even go? I just know that.
No, I remember. Okay, so like no, he gets attacked first, and then Team Avatar saves him.
Yeah.
And then I think it was like he goes gets like he sends a message, and then there's like those like the gas.
Yeah.
And then it's like another thing.
Yeah, no. Team Avatar only saves him second because the first time he like fights him off, and then he goes to the council.
No, yeah, because the second time was with the mecha suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beats out the people who were trying to kidnap him.
We don't know how this episode goes.
So he beats out the people who were trying to kidnap him because that was just them.
Yeah.
And then the second time it's the mecha suits.
Yeah.
And then Team Avatar has to save him.
Cool. We figured it out. Cool. I have like the synopsis right in front of me, and I'm like, I can't read. Wow.
Don't you have glasses?
Yeah. I have contacts too, but they don't seem to be working. So anyway, hold on, give me like 30 seconds. Oh yeah, and then like we got like a short scene with with Amon, and he's talking to Hiroshi Sato, and then he's like, soon you will have your daughter back.
Which like, I hope not.
Yeah, really.
I have my concern is that like because she's so mad at Mako, she's just gonna switch to the other side. I don't feel like she's that kind of character, but like. I don't know.
Yeah. And
I know there's only 2 episodes left, so like, and I know she's in the rest of the series, so right. I feel like that's kind of like an unforgivable thing. Mm-hmm. So like, I feel like she probably doesn't.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then was that after? And then they start attacking
Yeah, and then so these airships go to Air Temple Island, and Tenzin isn't there, and he's like, "Oh no!"
It was a trap, and I'm like, "Dang!" Well, like part of a trap.
Yeah, and so of course, as the airships are coming, Pem is like, "By the way, I'm about to give birth."
Well, like, because Lynn says, like, everybody needs to calm down, and then you just hear Pema scream.
Yeah,
and Lynn's like, "I told you to stay calm."
It's like, Pema, pull yourself together.
Like, I'll say this, like, obviously, like, with that, like, I thought, obviously, like, all right, like, at some point, like, when it's not, what's the word? Not the best time.
Yeah.
To happen, she's gonna go into labor and have the baby
at the most inopportune moment.
That's what I meant. That's the word. Baby. I thought it was gonna be like in like the final episode, with like the final battle. I thought that's when I was like, I don't think that happened now, but she goes into labor, and we're just like, oh,
well, yeah, that's happening. And so Lynn has to kind of fight these Equalist guys, off by herself, or so she thinks.
Yeah,
because then the Airbender children are like, "Oh no, lady." We're coming in to fight.
What's the oldest?
Jinora?
I loved her line saying, like, "Don't mess with my dad's ex-girlfriend." She's got the best.
I love Jinora. She's a good character. And then Iki comes in on an air scooter, and she's kicking butt, and then Milo has fart powers or something.
I don't like the fart powers. I don't like fart jokes in general.
No, neither do I. I'm not really a fart joke kind of person.
Yeah.
And so they beat him up, and they wrangle all those Equalist guys up, and then Tenzin finally gets back. They get back to the island, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, go." They don't really. They wait a while to tell him that like he just had a baby.
Well, there was like this whole thing of like he was like, "You put my children in a fight," and then she's like saying like, "If it wasn't for them, I'd probably be dead," and like that whole thing. And I'm like, "Oh, we should probably mention, by the way, your wife went into labor."
Yeah. So it takes them kind of a while to get to that, but eventually we go see the cute little new baby. His name is Rohan. And he's cute, and it's a nice family moment.
Can you tell somebody is an airbender when they're a baby?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you gotta wait till they're a little older.
Well, what's the son's name? Milo? Mm-hmm. I thought he's like 5 and like he knows. So like, probably a couple years. Anyway.
Yeah, a couple years.
Something happy happened. There was a baby.
Yeah. And so but then there's more airships coming.
Dang.
And they gotta get away.
Yeah.
And so they load the whole family up on the Sky Bison.
Yeah.
Whose name is Oogie. And they're getting ready to go, and Lynn's gonna accompany them because she's like, "Yo, I'm gonna protect your family, man."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Thanks." And then he tells Team Avatar, "You guys get off the island. It's not the time for fighting. You gotta go hide.
You just gotta run and hide.
You gotta fight until the United Forces come, and then you can make a plan, and then we can beat those Equalists." And Korra's like, "I want to fight," but then she's like, "Wait, no. You gotta be patient." And I'm like, character development.
Yay.
Good job, girl. All right, so they all get up on Naga and they run away, and the Sky Bison is flying away, but the airships are chasing him. And so, but as they're flying, the airships are getting closer. Like, they are no match for these airships.
Yeah.
So we see this moment where Lin Beifong decides, "Guess I gotta go sacrifice myself."
Yeah.
She pulls a heroic moment, jumps off, and then she goes and like basically destroys an airship with her bare hands.
Yeah.
Which, God, what a badass. God, I love her. And then, so
I think because like the ship went down, I didn't see her like jump off for a second. I thought that she was gonna die.
But then she eventually gets captured before she can beat the other airship, and she gets knocked unconscious. And then Milo is like, "That lady is my hero," and Tenzin's like, "Yeah, she is.
I agree.
She is my hero. I love her." And so
in a friendship way.
In a platonic sense.
Yes.
And so Team Avatar, they go to the underground. There's so many underground things in this city, like
which makes
there's
sense.
a whole other city under
like
the city.
If you want to like hide something,
secret tunnel. So they go out and hide. Mako and Korra have a little moment, and then Asami's like, and
I'm like,
and then we see it flashes back to Lin Beifong gets her bending taken away.
Oh, so sad.
It's a very good scene. Like,
it's a good scene, and like I
played out.
I think it was like also like during like the thing where I thought she was gonna die. I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen, and like you knew what I was thinking, and you're just like gave me that look, and I'm like, dang it.
Yeah, she gets her bending taken away, but it's such like a good, because it's a really good way to have like a character sacrifice without a character necessarily having to die.
Yeah,
it was a very kind of symbolic death. I felt like she really gave, because like for a lot of characters, kind of bending is their life. So to give away their bending is to like essentially give away their life. So Lin really sacrificed a lot of herself.
Yeah, because I kind of don't know, like, can she like
Tenzin's
fight?
Family.
Can she fight besides bending?
She can punch people, but like.
True.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but now they'll, so like she's still with them, so like, that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, so it's a great scene, a very sad scene,
So sad.
but such a good scene. Anyway, so we end on the United Forces. A fella delivers a message to a general saying Republic City has been overrun. And then this general guy says, tell the message, we will be there in 3 days' time. And then we pull back and he says, General Iroh, and it is General Iroh. Not the one you may know from the last series, but a young guy. This young guy who is voiced
By Dante
Bosco. And it's just a great moment.
I also forgot to bring this up, but the bad guy from the last episode was Clancy Brown, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
I know people. So wait, so is he Zuko's son? Or yeah, so because he looked at least like
yeah, he's Zuko's grandson.
okay, because I was gonna say like he looked about like I get then because I'm kind of wondering maybe like Tenzin had like kids when he was older because
No, he's
like,
in his 30s.
Who?
Iroh.
Okay.
Iroh.
No, because I was thinking
Iroh.
because like so then Tenzin had kids when he was like a lot older because
Yeah, Tenzin is like 50.
yeah, because it's like all of his kids are young.
Yeah, so because he waited a while to have kids.
Yeah, it's like all of his kids are young. Meanwhile, like Zuko's grandson's like
In his 30s.
yeah. So like okay, so I'm kind of I don't know if I missed this. Maybe I didn't miss it. But like I just want to maybe confirm this.
Okay.
So everybody from the original show, with the exception of Katara, dead. I know Avatar. I know Aang's dead.
I don't want to confirm or deny. It was confirmed in the first episode that Sokka is dead, and obviously Aang is dead.
I just know about Toph or Zuko.
Katara is confirmed alive. I am not going to say either way.
How did Zuko die?
I'm not going to say.
Not Zuko. I mean, not Zuko. Sokka.
Nobody knows. Nobody, like, Sokka gets, like, so...
I know, like, Katara...
screwed over in this series because nobody ever talks about him in this show.
Well, like, I know Katara's, like, probably like, in her 80s now.
Yeah, Katara's in her 80s.
And, like, Zuko's old... Not... God dang it. Sokka was older.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could just assume he died of old age, which I'm fine with.
He could. But nobody knows. They very much, like, the creators of the show, I feel like, very, like, kind of glance over him. They're like, yeah, Sokka did his thing. Okay, bye.
But we love him.
But, like, I want to know more information because it's Sokka and, like, he's one of the best characters. Whatever.
Yeah, so Sokka and Aang are dead.
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Confirmed.
And then Katara's alive, and
Yes.
you won't tell me about Toph or Zuko.
No.
Okay.
So,
But it looks like we're getting a battle.
so yeah, we're gonna fight. We're coming to fight. Like, United Forces are in, and they're gonna fight. And we got our General Iroh too, and so exciting. So what you think of this episode?
I really liked it. It's like I feel like everything's getting built up. There was some like emotional bits. It was funny. It was a good episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the teen romance stuff's still kind of
yeah.
bogging it. It's not bogging it down as much as like
Right.
I feel like if this is like a horror show that would have taken over, and like I would have been like, hey guys, like we got other problems, but like I feel like it's taking it less. So it's like but so that's still kind of bothering me,
Right.
But like, I mean, I'm glad that a lot of people are just like focusing on like the fact that like, hey, somebody's trying to kill us.
Yeah, like we're really, for the most part, we're focusing on the serious stuff, which is like this Mon guy is crazy, and he's about to do some stuff.
Yeah.
Not sure what he's doing, but it's about to go down, or it is in the process of going down.
Yep.
So, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Well, we're almost on the series. That's about the series season.
We are almost done this season. Yeah, we have 2 episodes left, which will be covered in the next episode.
Do.
Do-do-do-do.
So what do you think of? Like, is there any changes of this episode?
Watching this episode again, I mean, everything, I still feel pretty much the same as I have felt watching it before. I love the scene. Any scene with Beifong is near and dear to my heart. So the way, like, her sacrifice scene, talked about a little bit about that before. I think it's just a great scene. Like, I still geek out when I hear Dante Bosco's voice in that, because it's just, it's so cool. So, but like, I love seeing the legacy of the original Team Avatar. I think it's great. Do
any of the other original voice cast come back for like a role?
I forget who. I know a couple do. I forget who.
But I feel like voice acting, I know like some of them probably do like live action stuff, but like voice acting kind of feels like, hey, can you just like come in for a day and record some stuff?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's kind of
Oh yeah, well the one Yeah, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'll point out some fun things. But yeah, and so I love the legacy of the characters, and I love, especially going forward in this series, we'll get to see some more fun stuff.
Okay.
So looking forward to it. So I believe, it sounds like we're going to wrap up this week's episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. Join us next week as we wrap up Legend of Korra Book 1 with episodes 11, Skeletons in the Closet, and episode 12, Endgame. All right. So.
Is that the end?
And I wonder. It sounds like it's the end. Yeah. Who knows? All right. So if you want to, please give us a like and a subscribe on this video. We would love it. And then follow us on Twitter at Witty Close. Like us on Facebook at Witty Close Productions. And you can also shoot us an email if you want at wittyclose@gmail.com. Till then, that is all for this week's episode. We will see you next time. Peace.
Peace.